everybody, it's Liz with Liz Art Finds. We're here today with another haul video, and it's a good one. It's an interesting one. It's slim pickings out there right now, and so I've had to travel a little farther afield, and I've had to go into some different departments, but we're going to get into it. I did find a few gems. We'll kind of go through it all very shortly. Before that, really quick, what's sold over on eBay? The Blanco Guppy. They don't last long. You list them and they sell really, really quick. So this guy, even the clear one, I bought him for $35 a couple weeks ago at the DC Big Flea. He sold for $101. This Japanese porcelain dish with the peacock on it, I paid $3.19. I've been dropping the price. It sold for $9. This African tribal mask, also been listed for a little bit. I picked it up for $5.59, also dropped the price a few times, so it sold for $15. That was a best offer. And then the last thing that sold was this Joyeux Noël Limoges egg. Got that fairly recently in an auction lot. I paid $3.72 and it sold for $48. The total profit of those four things for the week that is after my cost of goods, after fees, after everything, my total profit was $102.95. And again, for those of you who don't know, I am a part-time reseller, fitting this in with a full-time job and life. So I'm doing the best I can with what I got. Anyway, let's go forward here. So the haul. First day I went out was the 13th, and I only found one thing at the first place I went to, and I'm not really sure. I should have picked it up. It's a glass car. I believe it to be a Ferrari. What's interesting to me is there's a bunch of similars out there. Most of them say that they're lead crystal. I am not convinced that this is lead crystal. I'm just not convinced. I'm thinking this might be some sort of reproduction, but the crystal ones sell very high. So I really don't know, and I've seen a bunch of different labels on them, seemingly from Germany, other places in Europe, and the solds on these are in that like 24 to 99 range. Some of the other ones are on bases and stands and things like that. But I mean, it's pressed glass, you know, it's molded. I don't know a lot about it, but I paid $3.99 for it. I think I can get at least 24. I'm going to probably start around 48 or 38. We'll see, and drop the price and see what happens. Okay, I also went over to Savers that night, and I found a few things, one of which was my big thing for the week. I'm going to show you the other two first. I got just a small little turned weed pot. Now this is nothing special, and it is not signed, okay? But I love art pieces. I mean, that's kind of my jam, right? So I think it's really cool. I paid $2.99 for it. There was one that sold for $30. I'm going to call it 15 to 18. I may start it at 24 and see if anyone is interested in getting this cute little vase. I mean, it's adorable, you know, and it's great for, you know, rustic decor, cabin decor. It's really pretty. It's natural wood, lathe turned. It's just really cool. I wish it was signed, but I do not see a signature on here. And then the other thing I found is this Indian brass vase. They don't sell for a ton, and it was priced kind of high. I paid $4.87 for it. They sell 8 to 12. So this is my blacklight. It's UV 365, and you can see how amazing this paint glows with the blacklight. So it's really cool. It lights up beautifully under blacklight. So that may help it to sell a little bit. I still think it's 8 to 12. It's got some little chips in the paint, which I didn't realize beforehand, but hopefully we can double our money on that and move that along. But the pièce de résistance. Okay, I gotta show you this. you guys know what this is? Obviously it's a vase. And at first look, you might think, oh, that's just, you know, a home goods decor vase. Nope. This is actually Studio Pottery, and it's by someone very famous. And I'll give you a hint. Now, it's super hard to see here. Let's see. It's very, very faded. And if you guys follow me on Facebook, I posted this already earlier this week. Yeah, it's really, really hard to see. But if you know the signature, you know it. And when you see it, it's this, ah. This is Bill Campbell. And this is Bill Campbell with the crystalline glaze. I found this for $4.12 at Savers. The last two that sold in this style were $125. In general, the vases of this size, they're in the $65 to $125 range. This should easily get over $100, so it's really exciting. A little bit about Bill Campbell. We have talked about him multiple times before, but this is Bill Campbell. And really fun fact, something new that I just learned because he just started doing this. He retired and he started wood turning. And I guess he was doing it as a hobby before. So this is him at a lathe, and he actually did his first show back in March with his wood turn bowls, which is really cool. But he was very, very famous, very well renowned as a potter. And let's see, he started, I don't know, around age 36, age 40, he got the studio business rolling. And he was innovative. He tried glaze combinations and different things that other people weren't doing. So definitely learn that signature. Go do a Google search online for Bill Campbell signature. Let's move on. On yesterday, I went out. That was all I had all week. I just had those 4 things. And I decided to do a little running around, and I went further afield. I went down to Woodbridge, which is probably 45 minutes or so from my house. And I went to the Savers down there. Then I hit up the Savers in Burke. Then I hit the one in Fair Lakes, and then I came home. So I spent a lot of time in Woodbridge and in Burke because, like I said, it's been kind of slim pickings out there. But we did find some interesting stuff. So down in Woodbridge, I found a lucite paperweight, or an acrylic paperweight. I think he called it resin. The artist is W. Rolfe, and we've talked about him before. Way back when I had a Queen Anne's lace paperweight, and that sold for $24.99. I've done a little research on his milkweed ones. Now this is a milkweed pod. You can see the pod down there and kind of bursting open with the little seeds being strewn about. Usually they're strewn about by the wind. He has this amazing ability to capture flowers in a way that other people can't. And apparently he had created this technique that no one else could duplicate. It's signed on the back, W. Rolfe. It may be super hard to see. It's right in the center. Let's see if I can get it into the light there. There you go, W. Rolfe, okay? So that's what this is, and his name is William Rolfe, and he created and perfected the art of embedding flowers in crystal clear plastic over 40 years ago. Now I know we talked about him in a video a while ago when I had that one with the Queen Anne's lace, but basically his stuff is collected, and it said at one time his work was displayed in the United Nations gift shop next to the works of the Navajo, the only 2 artisans chosen to represent the United States. Now that's crazy, right? His work has appeared at estate auctions such as Sotheby's, bringing in very many times more than what was originally paid. The process he uses is very complex, so no other biologists or artists have been able to achieve the results he has. Flowers are hand-picked and immediately dried at the height of their perfection, then carefully embedded in a high-quality clear resin that enhances their finest qualities. I also found this carving. It's olive wood, and it's a Virgin Mary with the rosary. It's just a beautiful carving, but it's not signed. So there was one that sold recently for quite a bit, but most of these are in the 15 to 18 range, and I just wrote 15 to 18 plus. I paid $3.19 for it. I just think it's really cool. It's just very well done. And the wood, just the grain in this wood is amazing. And they say online that it is olive wood. And then the last thing I found there was this perfume bottle with a bird stopper. I've been picking up a lot of perfumes lately. Now this is wet because I just washed it. This is nothing special. It is just glass. It's not by an artisan. It's fairly contemporary. I don't know much about it. The other listing that I saw said green bottle with bird stopper. I paid $2.39 for it, and the one that I saw that sold for $22. So let's call it 18 to 24 on that. So we got that. Then up in Burke, it's a smaller store, and it's not as busy. So it was fun. We're just going to go through all the things. So I found this crystal giraffe. Now this one is made in Italy, okay? It is 24% lead crystal. And you can see, this is why I'm thinking that car is probably not lead crystal. You can see the difference in the clarity, right? See how clear that is and how it shines? And this one, it just doesn't give me lead crystal. Now, it doesn't mean it's not. It just means, to my limited eye, I'm not convinced. This one definitely is. I've seen labeled pieces online. And the brand is called Crystal Color, K-R-I-S-T-A-L, Color, 24% lead crystal, made in Italy. Okay, so that's what this guy is. I picked him up for $3.99. They sell 12 to 15. Okay, so there was that. Then you'll recognize this because I have one just like it. This is a Marilyn Wiley vase pot, signed Marilyn down here on the bottom. It's still a little wet because I cleaned it recently, but she was a well-known Navajo artist, and she created pottery in Arizona, retired in the late 2000s. Bought this for $3.99, which is great because the other one that I have, I still have to list. I think I picked that one up for like $8 and something. So this was only $3.99. The value on this, the solds are in the 24 to 38 range. And this is in great condition. Okay, so yep, beautiful, beautiful piece. I found a mug. This is a Deruta, Italy mug, so it's hand painted. It says S. Berna, Deruta. Deruta is a place in Italy. And then it says Di Pinto a Mano, which is, and I know I'm saying that wrong, but it's painted by hand. So it's a basically Italian pottery mug. Okay, they don't have a ton of value. I just thought it was really pretty. It was $2.39. They're usually sold between $10 and $18. There was one that sold for $50, and I can't tell the difference. It looked just like this one. So who knows? You know, like we've said before, things are worth what somebody is willing to pay. I picked up this interesting, now this is contemporary for sure. They are still selling these. This is a gem tree. Now they don't usually have much value. This one was a little different than what I normally see. First of all, it has this little emblem here by the maker. It's on this gorgeous agate slab, and it's very well, like it's got tons and tons of like semi-precious stones. I think these are like amethyst. Actually, they look more like tourmaline. They may all be tourmaline, different shades of tourmaline. But it's just a beautiful tree, and it's the 8-inch size. They make, the company is called Karma and Luck, and they make 3 different sizes, 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch. This is the medium. These sell new, similar. They don't have this stone coloration right now. I'm sure it's a retired tree. But this size sells for $118 new, okay? So on the secondary market, it would be right around half that, a little less than half that, but I'd say around 45-ish. And this is just really high quality. So I'm gonna list it, I don't know, probably in the 50s or so and take offers. We'll see. But I just thought it was so pretty, so I took that home. And then I got into the jewelry section. Some mistakes and some good stuff. I did a lot of looking, and I've been watching some videos lately on jewelry, so I'm trying to learn a little bit. And you know, obviously you want to pick it up, well, depending on the price, if it's sterling or if it's gold. And none of these things are any of those things. There were other things that made me interested. I'm going to start with one of the interesting ones. This is a cardinal bangle. The company is it says L&D on it. And when I looked that up, it's Luca and Danny, and they are a Rhode Island based company. And this particular cardinal bracelet, they're still selling them, so this is contemporary. I paid $1.59 for it. The exact same one just sold for $21 on the resale market. The new ones sell for around $38. And they're calling it silver tone. It's not actual precious metal. It's a really pretty bracelet, and like I said, one just like it sold for $21. The other bracelet I picked up that I probably shouldn't have, it's a little cloisonné bangle, and it's older. And typically this would have been sold as a group of multiples with different colors, but all they had was one. They charged a little much. I paid $3.19 for it, and the solds on these are literally 4 to 6. So this was a learning piece for me. The quality is fantastic. I will get my money back out, but probably not any profit on this one. But it's a really pretty bangle bracelet. The other one I picked up that I should not have picked up was an Alex and Ani. I had read somewhere that some of their stuff is sterling. I assumed wrong, and this is not. And it's also broken, which I didn't see until I got home. So there's a little break in the metal right here. Okay, so this I will donate back, but the amazing piece, the really truly amazing piece that I found there, that's amazing to me. I got this piece. Okay, now what excited me about it, first of all, it looked like it had a little quality as opposed to a lot of the other costume pieces. This looked handmade. And sure enough, on the back, it's signed right there. It says YS. I don't know if you can see that. And the artist is an Israeli named Yossi Steinberg. And all of his stuff, it looks very, very similar. I actually printed out somewhere, did I? I printed out a sheet, here it is, of some of the solds of his stuff. Okay, so you can take a look here, $24.50, $27.95, $24.99, $36.99, $25.50, and they're all one of a kind. They're all one of a kind, okay? So that's really cool. So this is a one-of-a-kind piece. I paid $3.19 for it. We're going to call it 24 to 26. 24 to 32, actually. Some of those solds were higher. And this is a real pearl. That was one of the hallmarks of his designs. They have a real pearl and they have Austrian crystal, and then they're enameled. He was born in Israel. He's no longer with us. It says his jewelry attracts jewelry lovers with its bright colors, quirky designs, and absolute uniqueness. Indeed, no two brooches are alike in this designer's rich collection. Okay, so that immediately gives it value, right? The history of these handcrafted pins spans not more than 3 decades, from the mid-1980s to the 2010s. After graduation, he became interested in enamel and jewelry design, working in his workshop in Neve Tzedek, Tel Aviv, until his death. Creating jewelry, mainly brooches, the master used multicolor acrylic resin, Austrian crystals, freshwater pearls, silver-plated or gilded wire, as well as hypoallergenic metals. This is a one-of-a-kind Yossi Steinberg brooch. So I'm excited about that, like really excited about that. So I think in the jewelry section, that was kind of the exciting find. That Luca and Danny bracelet also semi-exciting. So yeah, and then the last place I went to the Savers over in Fair Lakes, and all I found was one plate, just a single plate. Now the artist here is interesting. It's signed Roland White, okay, and it's vintage. There is not a lot of information on him or his pottery, other than he did pottery for a while and then moved on to something else. So he is still around. He did pottery back in the day, in the 1970s, and then switched into other art. So he is doing digital creations now. So he does these really cool nature-inspired digital designs now. But his pottery is from the 70s and 80s, I believe, and it was stoneware. And it is signed. It's just super hard to see the signature here. It's right there. And I had to put some cornstarch in there to be able to read it, but it is Roland White. Okay, and he's up in Oregon, and that's all I got on him. So I paid $2.99 for the plate. I don't have anything that I can compare to for the comps. I'm going to call it 12 to 18 to 24 and up. So I, as usual, will list it a little on the high side and see what happens when I get a chance to it. This one, we'll see when that will go up. So that's kind of all. It was not the most spectacular week, other than this. This was spectacular. But next week's another week, right? So my total spend this week was only $56.45. And the value is around 320-ish, which is a little over 5.5 times-ish. So that is that. So thank you all for watching. Like I said before, please like, please subscribe. My glass show is going to be on Monday night, the 24th of November, over on Niknax.net, very late at night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. It's not so late if you're over on the West Coast. I'm almost done preloading that show, and that's like my best glass. I've got some amazing pieces in there, so definitely take a look over there. I'll have the link in the description below, and we will see you guys next week with another haul video. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.